Well, welcome back, everybody. So today we're going to be finding a more permanent place to set up our house. As much as I like being near the ocean and listening to the constant screech of seagulls, and not to mention all the rain in my head, I figured we need to go ahead and set up something more permanent. So I'm starting to move my items that were over at spawn into some of these chests over here. We've set up a wavestone to teleport back and forth. But I think this is a pretty nice spot. This isn't actually too far away. Actually, spawn is just over that hill over there, or past that giant mountain. So kind of around the corner there. So I'm going to go ahead and set up a house over here. But before we do all that, we actually will need to probably do some adventuring to get the materials that we need to actually put that together. So I'm going to need lots of different wood types and lots of different materials that we don't currently have yet. Also, I need to move all of those chests over here, at least the majority of the items I have stored over there. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with that, and we'll come right back. All right, so we've gotten the area a little bit flattened out, moved quite a bit over from the starter area, and set up all of our workbenches for chipped. Now is the point where I need to actually start gathering the materials I need. I've started already getting some wood, and we've been using our mechanical saw and hand crank trick to kind of auto chop all that stuff down. Well, it speeds it up, let's put it that way. It's not automatic yet. We'll get to that point. And then also just other random things, dirt and whatnot. I still need a few exotic things, which is where our nature's compass is going to come into effect. So we're going to go ahead and craft that as soon as I can find where my compass is. Which I know I have one somewhere. That may be back in spawn. There we go. Compass. And I believe for nature's compass, we just need 4 saplings and a compass. So which 4 saplings can we kind of borrow? Spruce. If I remember correctly, I think we just need to put one in the center there, and maybe not. I thought I remembered it, but I guess not. There we go. Nature's compass. Oh, and then there's logs as well. Okay. Well, let's see. Maybe I'll just steal a few maple logs, or actually, in this case, jungle logs. Compass. And ta-da! Now what this is going to do is allow us to find some of these harder to find biomes that I need some of the things from. So for example, when we can come in here, we pick the different biome that we're searching for, and it will find one. So say if I was searching for a Badlands, I can go ahead and do that. And now is going to point in the direction of the closest Badlands, which would be in this direction. So that's very handy. Of course, I'm going to want to find a different type of biome. We need to get some white sand and a few other things that are going to be specifically in those biomes. All right, so mainly, I think the first thing we're going to want, actually, with this is we need to find a mangrove swamp, but not just a regular one. So we need the wild backport one, the regular mangrove swamp. So that's our first step, is going to be finding that. And I really wish it showed how far away it is, but we need to end up going this way and finding that, and then we'll find our next biome, which I believe is like the white beaches. I'm not really sure what they're called, but I need white sand. Let's head on down and figure out where this mangrove swamp is. Okay, I finally figured out how to use this compass correctly. We're about 2,000 blocks away now, but I'm seeing some pretty cool stuff in the horizon. That looks nice. Lots of fun new biomes. Oh, there's a white mangrove swamp. Let me go check this out over here. Ooh. What's this? One of those new pillager outposts. I mean, we could take a slight detour and destroy these guys. There's nothing in there. Ooh, there's the loot. Oh, you're annoying. What if I bum rush you? Well, that was fast. Alright, we're almost there. Oh, what's this? Ooh, it's a swamp village. Okay, these guys aren't nibblets. Alright, you're coming with me. What? Oh, it's an alligator. Oh. Here's the mangroves. Okay, let's get some propagules. Didn't realize I was in the middle of this whole thing. Oh, there we go. Alright, well, let's head back. Well, that was quite a journey to get all of the supplies that we needed to build this house, so let's go ahead and head into a time lapse and get that thing put together. All right, and the house is done. I think this turned out really well. So as you can see, I've done some decorating outside of the house. I added a little bit of a path here, some lights, and just kind of mix it in. Also hit the grass with some bone meal, get it a little bit more grassy. I custom oak tree over there with a boulder, just, you know, for some nice screenshots and stuff. So what we've got here is kind of our base of operation for the rest of the season. We've got some windmill power going on here. And let's hop on through the door and check it out. So on the inside, I haven't yet figured out where I'm going to put some of the create machines, but we've got our windmill generating power, and that should be enough torque to be able to run at least some of the simpler machines. Over here is our bedroom area with our sleeping quarters currently and a little bit of a fireplace. Down below, we had our kitchen and living room quarters here. I'm not really sure I'm going to decorate this yet, but we will get to that at some point. I did put a few cabinets in here, and then, of course, some, of our furnaces and a smoker. And then the top of the house, we've got our attic, which is going to be for, I think, mainly storage. However, I'm going to need a lot more room than this. There's no way that this is going to be enough. So that's where we're going to actually end up probably building down in the basement. Also wanted to point out that there is a cool little balcony here. We can get a good view of the windmill. Also like that I can see the windmill through the window here. I think that's pretty neat. And lots of views to the surrounding landscape. Let's talk a little bit about some of the build palette. So, even though this is modded Minecraft, I didn't want to really lean heavily into the modded blocks. So, I kind of mixed both traditional blocks with some of the more modded different wood types and that type of thing. So, you'll see, for example, we've got lots of spruce strip logs that kind of make up most of the beams on the house here, and that kind of blends into not only the strip spruce, but we also have strip rubber logs, which I really like. This is kind of like a little bit of a darker brown color, and I think it looks nice. We also have these chipped spruce logs that add a little bit of the knots in there. I've added some of these signs and buttons, also kind of represent like patchwork and a little bit of like knots in the wood, you know, sticking out where there may have been like tree branches that we cut off to, you know, kind of create these planks. And then a little bit of the gradient there, also adding the mangrove wood as well. And so we've kind of got that blended in here. Down here, we even went a little bit darker with the mud block from the Biomes. And we'll also see, you know, I can definitely say this gradient right here was heavily inspired by Jestix. And he is the master of using all sorts of crazy block palettes to create insane gradients. A lot of it's using even like dirt. So this is going from like a coarse dirt to regular dirt to packed mud to stripped oak, and we've got stripped birch and even sand. And then the main building itself, kind of a mixture of just andesite stone and a little bit of cobblestone thrown in as well. We've got lighting underneath on the bottom here because of these transparent composters. And then we've got those framed in with some more signs as well. I really like these funky chimneys that I have, and they all do end up tying back to individual heat sources. These are using actually CreateMod's chutes, and then up the tippy top there, these are actually specialized chimney blocks that actually produce smoke, and I think those are really cool. So I've mixed those in as well, and we've got those kind of on each floor. We have the individual flower boxes here, and I went with, you know, the blue swamp flowers to really pretty up the place. I've got, of course, our Create spruce windows. I love how they have the frames on those. Those look fantastic. Our little back porch. And then kind of in the back of the house, it's not as exciting, but, you know, we've got, you know, still more larger windows to let some light in. And then, of course, the different windows kind of go around the back here. You also notice that there are some of these quarter block pieces that add even more texture to it. So we have a dark oak, and of course going into the mangrove and rubber logs as well, and all the way up to the stripped spruce. And what else? Oh, and then of course up top in these kind of like overhangs, I wanted to add some like accent pieces. So we even mixed in some walnut wood, which is those trees way out there. So those are pretty nice. They have like kind of almost like a redwood texture to them, which is really neat. And then I even went and textured the white up here. So this is going from, and this is why actually I had to get the white sand. Let's see if we can get here. We'll go in the free cam. So we have, of course, our cut diorite. This is something that's with Create. And then that goes into the quartzite sand. This is basically sand mixed with quartz. And then, of course, we have white sand, which is where we went out to the Rainbow Beaches to get that. And that's also mixed in with some of the white smooth sandstone is where it ends up going to. So it's all primarily the same color, but it still adds a little bit of texture to this, which is really nice. I accented the outside of our overhangs on the windmill with these polished cut deep slate. I like how nice and polished it looks. The roof is basically just a mix of the deep slate tiles and the deep slate bricks. I also mixed in, though, these really nice stairs made out of moss. This is kind of represent where water would be running down the roof and kind of just adding, a bit of a pop of color in there. Of course, we also mixed up the stairs with some full blocks to just give it a little bit more texture as well. Um, and then, of course, on the back of the main... Ooh, what's going on here? Freaking out. So anyways, and then on the back of the house, we went with just basically the stripped birch logs and mixed in some of the birch planks, and then even highlighted a little bit with some oak and stripped oak, just to kind of give it a little bit of texture in there as well, and a little bit of highlights, kind of some different shadows and stuff. So I think overall it is fantastic looking. And then, of course, our windmill is just pretty plain. It is. We've got, of course, the sails on there, and then just, our stripped dark oak. And, of course, in the back, I wanted it to look like it's going all the way through, so that we even have the back part spinning as well. And a lightning rod on top for safety. And, of course, everything is spawn-proof, as I like it. And then, of course, we'll be building around the area a little bit more. We'll be adding more buildings and all sorts of things nearby. Hello, sheep. But yeah, I'm really excited to keep working on this area. I think one of the other projects we're going to be doing here is actually, well, aside from moving everything inside, all our workbenches and whatnot, we need to terraform this. I want to take down this hill a bit, so that we can get a nice view of the water. I want to be able to see the river go all the way across. And so that's going to require us taking down most of this hill. And I want it kind of flat. Let's see if we can see. Yeah, it goes way back there. So we're going to have to figure out how to terraform that and blend it in. But I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then, of course, we need to get set up with villagers and all sorts of stuff. So we'll be working slowly at this. I want to get our... giant parrot in here and actually get some more of those giant parrots. Kind of have a giant parrot ranch, or almost like a chocobo ranch. It'd be kind of fun. But I think that's all the time we have left in this episode. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm having a lot of fun with this series, and I hope you are too. So until next time, safe travels, everyone.